This is The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas, published by Barnes & Noble in 2011 for the Barnes & Noble Leatherbound Classics Library. That was quite a mouthful, but let's get into this book. So it's bound in this deep blue, very rich bonded leather. Not the best quality of leather by any means, but it does look quite nice. On the front, we have a lot of gilding, not real gold leaf, but it still looks quite nice. We do have a bit of red leather added on as well, and this cover does feel quite soft in the area where it's just leather. The front has a negative of the title and author's name, where it's surrounded by gilding instead of being gilded itself. And we do have a few red accents thrown in there, which gives it quite a nice look, although it is a bit tacky in my opinion. The spine is super thick. We have more gilding on here, more of those red bonded leather accents, and of course the title is now gilded itself with the author's name, Alexandre Dumas, gilded as well. And we get this little motif of two men fencing, or sword fighting, I guess, not fencing. And there are also two of these fake spine hubs. On the back of the book, we have more gilding. I also think this looks a little tacky, but it's not bad. We get a massive ship gilded in, and a little map up there with all of the same accents we've seen. The page edges are gilded, and it's quite a nice job. Not real gold leaf either. And we have these solid blue headbands. I am surprised that the spine of this book is so rounded, and when I open the book, you'll see that the page edges themselves, or the pages themselves, my apologies, are rounded. Before we get to the end papers, let's look at this ribbon marker right here. So we have this deep gold ribbon marker, not made of silk, and it's a bit thin, so it may break over time or fray, but it's not bad, and it will still let you mark your page. The end papers are this printed design, and they are quite thick, which is necessary for a book of this size, so I like these a lot. They have this French design on them. I'm not sure what it's called, but these little blue symbols there are what give it away that it is definitely a French design. And of course, since this book is set in France. The B title is directly attached to the end papers, so it's a bit stuck on there, but and immediately afterwards we get to the full title page, which has a nice design, although it's all in black and white. And here's the publishing information. 2011 by Barnes & Noble. I think at some time around 2014 through 2015, they switched to outsourcing their leatherbound classic books, where the quality slightly dropped, although not much. But the earlier books are definitely slightly better. This one was printed and bound in China. There's only one tone of ink in this book, and it's this black, grayish black. Not the best, but it's still readable, of course. So not bad. The design of the pages is very standard. Readable, of course. This book is big and has so many chapters that they don't break pages with a new chapter, which I understand. This paper is definitely thinner than most other hardcover books because this novel is so long that you need to print it on thinner paper or the book will literally be half a foot thick. The book does lay very flat, even from the beginning, which is good for such a heavy book. So you can read this book laying flat on a table. which is probably the only way to read it, unless you prop it up in your lap. There are no illustrations in this book, so I'll fan through it for you. I believe that says chapter 117. And the book simply ends with no other content afterwards. And it does go up to chapter 119. And of course, the end papers at the back are that same pattern that we already saw at the front. When we do open this book, it makes a very large eye, although the backing of the book is starting to come a little loose. I think that this book will still hold up quite nicely over time. So that's all for this book. Quite a nice readable copy of the Count of Monte Cristo. And for the price, I would say it's pretty well worth it. Thank you very much.